Hello, 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 people, and welcome. How is everybody this evening? Let me just give 1 second here. I'm going to unmute some people here. Hello, everybody. Can you all hear me? I see Diane.
I can hear you.
Hi, Diane. How are you?
Terry.
Good to see everybody. Hi, Darlene.
Hello.
Darren.
Hey, Terry. Hear you loud and clear.
Mr. Paul Lawson is in the background here.
Hey, Paul.
How are you?
We're in the
Hi, Erica. Good to see you.
The background there.
Hey, Terry. Hey, Paul.
How's everybody? Hi, Beth. Virginia.
Hi.
Darlene. Campbell. How are you guys?
All good here.
Everybody good. Nice to see you, Darlene.
Nice to see you.
Wow, guys. I have some kudos to shout out to Diane and Angela Brown last night, who took over the call because we had the wrong date. So thank you so much. We've been up at the fishing lodge here in Quebec doing some training and some fishing and some canoeing and campfires and just really doing some team building and some fun things. And we're really excited to be able to share a little bit about the importance of, you know, being together with team and how important your story is to your success. And so what I thought would be really good is to come to you tonight from northern Quebec up at the fishing lodge. And I can see there's a bit of a time difference because I can see it's still light where Diane is. Is the sun still out, Diane, where you are?
Hi. Yeah, I'm in Colorado. It's 6:30 here.
Yeah, 6:30, 3 hours behind. So still beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, we have a beautiful evening here, and we have with us Jen Moyer. We have my sister Lori. We have Carol Weaver. We have Pat Grass. We have Paul Austin. We had Kevin Dugay with us today, but he left early. We have Angela Corns from all the way from Florida, who flew in to be part of our group up here in a contest that we had. And so we just sort of sat around and we talked about, you know, how important our stories are, how important it is to, you know your story, whatever it is. You know, whether it's a business success story, whether, you know, it's a story where you improved on your energy, your pain relief, whatever it happens to be. And we think that that's key to your success, is having your story nailed down. So we really wanted to talk a little bit tonight on, you know, your story. I mean, and Paul Austin at our training in Toronto made everybody put up their hand and pledge that they would put their story or their testimonial up on our team page. And so far we have a whopping 3 people that we can see that have done that. So we just want to reiterate the fact that your story is very important, because that shows pure intent, that shows authenticity. And people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And so when you have your story and you have your why down, there are 2 important factors, but your story, of course, is important because that shows, you know, how authentic you are with this business. And people are watching you with everything you do on Facebook, with everything you do on social media. They are watching to see, you know, how serious you are about this. So it's important for your success to have your story down. And I think that there's a lot of you that really haven't, you know, decided what your story is yet. And I think it's important that you do that. So we wanted to share today from up in Quebec with everybody here their story. So I'm going to introduce everybody one at a time, come into the camera here and share their story, because we've been working on part of our training up here was for people to work on their 3 to 4 minute story. And I'm sure that a lot of you out there have not worked on your story yet. And I'm sure a lot of you have thought about your story, but you really haven't nailed it yet. You haven't really put it down on paper. You haven't really made it yours yet. And I think it's important to those of you that want to build this as a business, those of you that want to share this incredible technology called Vox HPT. It's important to have your story down, because people, as I said, don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And so that is very, very important. And I sincerely apologize to everybody on this call, because when we decided about what to do, when I set up the training call, we had the date wrong. Actually, I shouldn't say we, it was I had the date wrong. I want to give a big shout out to Angela and Diane, who did an impromptu training last night. And thank you so much, Diane and Angela, if you're on the call, for taking over the training. So right now what I want to do is I want to introduce Jen Moyer as part of the training. And I'm going to have each one of the people that have been up here for the last 2 days,
hi Tracy,
doing the training to tell their story. I've had everybody work on their story. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce my good friend and managing director, Jen Moyer, to tell you her story. Jen, take it away.
Thank you, Terry. Are you going to mute everybody or no?
Sure.
Don't have to.
I'd be good if you did.
There you go.
There you go. Okay. Actually, I like hearing them better. Anyway, hey everybody. What an amazing time we've had up here, doing a lot of brainstorming, team building, really getting to know each other. And as Terry said, you know, it's important. Your story is so powerful. And I was a long time trying to figure out my story. And, you know, Eric Worre actually has a great little step-by-step how to, you know, put your story together. It starts off this big, and you can really, as you go along, minimize it. So really my story is, Terry and I have been friends for years. We were involved. He was the first one that introduced me to the business of network marketing. And we were involved in another company together. And when Terry came to me with my first pair of Vox socks, it really was a point in my life when I had a lot going on. I was starting a new career. I just left a corporate job because it was too demanding on my time. Both of my parents were ill, and they took a lot of my time. And so when Terry first brought the socks to me, I said, thank you very much, and, you know, put them in my gym bag. But at the time, I was just recertified as a personal trainer, working in a brand new gym. And Terry was persistent. You know, he knew that this was something special. He knew I worked with a lot of seniors, and he felt that this technology could really help them. You know, what Terry didn't know was that I suffer from degenerative disc disease. And all the traveling that I did, all the running, I found myself, as most caregivers do, I stopped looking after my health, and I was in a lot of pain. And one day, it was August 18th, 2016, Terry called me up and he said, this thing is really helping a lot of people. There's a meeting tonight. Can you come? And the timing was right for me. So I said, yeah, I can come. So I went to the meeting, and when I saw people in the audience just standing up and telling, you know, the effect this technology had on them, I said, I'm in. I had no idea what it would do for me personally, but I knew I could help others. So I took my socks home, bought a launch kit right that night, took it home, put a pair of socks on, immediately, within 10, 15 minutes, felt the tingling that you feel in your legs. And within 3 days, my big toes that had been numb for 2 years, I had feeling in. And so, as time went on, I'm skeptical by nature, which a lot of us are. It's healthy to be skeptical, and really it helps build your belief. So for about 4 months, I spent testing it on my own body, taking them off. My toes would go numb again. I'd put them back on. I'd get the feeling back. And in that 4 months, I realized, wow, I'm not taking pain pills anymore. So it's just phenomenal what it's done for myself and my family. And, it's the future is so bright.
Right? Yay! Thank you so much, Jen. Again, folks, we've been up here and people have gone their own sort of way and spent some time in the forest or whatever and worked on their story, because telling your story is not easy. It's not always easy because we think that our story has to be this big, amazing thing. And that's not true. Your story is your story. Whatever it is, people are going to resonate with what comes from your heart. So whatever this technology has done for you, it could be as simple as just giving you more energy. That's fantastic. Because if that comes from your heart, that's real. It's your story. That's important, and that's what resonates with people. And guys, I can't reiterate enough at how important it is to have your story nailed down, to put it on the testimonials page, to put it on your homepage. People want to see how sincere you are about what we're doing and your story. And I know it makes people uncomfortable to tell your story because you don't think, a lot of times all of us don't think our story is important. It is so important. It's so key to your success. It's so key to sharing this amazing gift that we have. So Jen, thank you so much for sharing your story. It's an amazing story. And I'm so glad and elated that not only it helped you, but that you decided to share it with other people. Because there is light at the end of the tunnel and it's not a train coming. That's for sure. So next up, we're going to have Pat Grass. Patty is an amazing girl. She's going to step into the hot seat here. And Pat has gone, she walked about 7 kilometers today through the logging roads just so she could think about her story. And she finally realizes, after talking over the last couple of days, about how important her story is to her success, to sharing with other people, because it's not easy to get it down. And I said, okay, guys, no more than 4 minutes each, 3 to 4 minutes each. So I introduce you to my amazing new friend, teammate, and outdoors woman, Patty Grass.
Hi. Thanks, Terry, for what you've done here for us this week. It has been amazing. If you guys ever get an opportunity, do not turn it down. Move heaven, move earth, get here. It's beautiful. The camaraderie is amazing. It's been a really special 3 days so far. So my story began about in April of 2017 when I was very, very briefly introduced to Vox. And it's something that I just tucked into the back of my mind. And I was busy with other things at the time. But I had another friend, not the one that introduced me, but another one on Facebook who would occasionally post testimonials. And with each testimonial I saw, I learned that there was more and more that Vox could do for people. And I kept thinking, well, I could help this person, and the Vox could help this person. And if I reached out to this person, I eventually had a list of 70 names of people that I could potentially help with this technology. At that point, I decided to kind of clear it with my husband and get his blessing to go ahead and do it, which I did. He was on board with me, and I decided to become a distributor even before I had tried the socks for myself. So that's how much faith I had in the possibility of this technology. So I got my socks, I put them on, and I'm very, very fortunate to not suffer from too many illnesses or pain or whatnot. But for about 25 years or so, I had a knot, like a fist in my back between my shoulder blades. And sometimes it would get painful. I would seek chiropractic, massage, acupuncture. They would get rid of the pain, but they could never, ever get rid of that knot in my back. So I put on my first pair of socks. And within a few minutes, I was feeling a tingling in my spine. And then shortly after that, my spine would crack a little bit. And then 10, 15 minutes later, I'd have to adjust my back again. And this went on for a few hours where it seemed like my spine was self-adjusting. And I realized, then that kind of dwindled off. And I realized after that, 3 days later, that this fist of blocked energy and occasional pain in my back was gone. So that was a big aha moment for me. I also realized that at the end of the day on the horse farm, I can be very busy and I can put on a lot of miles. So I found that I had more energy at the end of the day than I typically would have. I also found when I put the socks on my husband, he experienced the same tingling in his spine that I did, and his sore neck that he had from the time he was 19 to the time he was 57, after 8 hours of wearing the socks, the discomfort down the muscles from his neck to his shoulder, and the crunching he would hear in his ears when he turned his head in 8 hours was gone. I was a believer. And at that point, I went crazy and started sharing the opportunity and the products with other people. And that's my story. That's how it started.
Yay.
Love it. Great story.
Thank you so much, Pat. That was wonderful. So I think you guys are starting to see a little common thread here about the heartfelt, how important it is to make it your story and how important your story is. So next is one of our amazing friends and partners, Angela Corns from Florida. And Angela, she said she never wins anything, and next thing you know, she's up at our fishing lodge here and flew in from Florida. So we have just become great friends over the last couple of days. She's an amazing, amazing woman, a wonderful person that loves horses, loves to help people. And I'm excited for her to share her story, which is kind of exciting. But I introduce to you the amazing and beautiful Angela Corns. Angela, take it away.
Thanks, Terry. This is an amazing opportunity, and I've had some time to think here in the quietness about how my story has evolved, because my original story is not my current story. So my story started, a friend of mine came to me, my husband has had a stroke, and came to me and said, you have to buy socks because it'll help your husband's balance. So in November of 2016, I got my husband some socks, and she said, you have to have them to ride your horse into. I said, fine, I'll buy some socks for me. So I've seen how they've helped my husband. They've helped his balance. They've helped his neuropathy. He's not taking the medications he was taking any longer. He's doing great. So, but my story has evolved because after I went to Las Vegas and learned and listened to Dr. Mark DeBrincat, I made a very conscious effort to start wearing the socks every day to see what they would do for me. And I don't really have any physical ailments that I really knew of. So I wanted to see firsthand what they were going to do for me. And my experience has been my crash time at 3 p.m. every day has stopped. My energy goes, my depression is much better, my mood is more consistent, I have a lot more energy, my outlook on life is better. But the other thing that I've learned here in the last 24 hours is that even as a small child, I volunteered at a handicap camp. And I took kids that couldn't walk and all of a sudden gave them 4 legs. And even at 12 years old, that gave me more delight than I could ever imagine. So now you see people that have strokes, you see people in constant pain, and all they have to do is change their socks. And to see the look on their face when you do the demonstration on them and video them and let them see themselves and the difference in themselves with and without the technology, it's amazing. And this is a gift that we've all been given, and it's a gift that we all can share. And it's not chemicals, it's not medicine, it's not big pharma. It's something as simple as changing their socks. And when you can see the look on people's faces, when within seconds of stepping on the technology and their foot pain goes away, or toes that they can't feel for years and none of their family ever knew it, and all of a sudden they feel their toes, that's the big moment for me. And so beyond my husband's story and beyond my personal story, it's the look and the feeling from helping other people instantly. And my story isn't a big aha moment personally. It took a couple of weeks for me to realize that I was no longer wanting a nap at 3 p.m. But it's not just the big aha moments, it's the little things too. And I think everybody looks for those big moments, but it's the little moments too. Mm-hmm. But just being able to share something that's so non-invasive and so simple and right at our fingertips. And that's what does it for me. And that's why I do this. So
love it. Right. Wonderful.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Angela. I think all of us, I'm a little bit choked up here. I think, all of us have felt and seen those moments where not only for ourselves, but for friends, for family, for complete strangers that have had amazing situations. And guys, this is so important. All of you that are on this call, and I appreciate it so much for all you guys to be on this call. You guys, you don't realize how powerful your story can be. You don't realize how powerful your story can be to somebody else that can resonate with you. If your story helps one person, just one person, we've achieved amazing success. So thank you, Angela, for sharing that. And I want you guys, as you're listening to these stories, to think about your own story. Think about how important your story can be to helping somebody else. And that's part of it. And Jay has talked about this at our training. Paul spoke about it at our training at Summer in the City. And I know some of you people were not there, and that's fine. But we can't reiterate enough at how important it is to talk about your story, to put it on the page, to put it on the testimonials page, to put it on your own page, because your story can change someone's lives. And I think that is very profound. So next up, we have the wonderful Carol Weaver, who had her birthday up here. We're not quite sure what she turned. She won't tell us necessarily. But Carol Weaver has been a friend of our family for years. Carol worked at our family business for how many years, Carol?
24.
24 years she worked at our family business. And so we're delighted that Carol won to come up here and spend some time. It was almost like that it was meant to be. She's a great cook. She prepared an amazing meal tonight, and we're delighted to have her. So everybody, I'm pleased to introduce to you our good friend and teammate, Carol Weaver.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Terry. It's great to be here, and we've had great times in the last couple of days. It was a wonderful trip up, and everyone is bonding really well. We're talking about our stories. My story started with my friend Lori, who you all know. She had met up with Jay and Kevin and had the technology and said, I really have to do demos, Carol. Can I come? Because I run a nonprofit group and I have my Bible study group. Can I just come and do some demos? I want to get this out in the field. And I said, sure, I'll ask. So she came and showed people, and people were excited with what happened. We had one lady that in my grandparenting group that had 2 special needs children that slept upstairs, and she slept downstairs because they needed the upstairs. And she had had a knee operation, and she also had very bad arthritis. And she thought, what have I got to lose? So she bought the socks, phoned me the next morning and said, I have to talk to Lori. And I thought, what's happened? And she said, Lori phoned her, and she said, I got up this morning, and I'll tell you, I didn't know this, but normally when she got up, she had to crawl up the stairs because her arthritis was so bad. And that morning she got up and walked up the stairs. So she was ecstatic, and it made a huge change in her life. So I knew that the product was working. So I went to the launch with Lori, and I said, okay, I'm in. I had a lot of other things going on, but I put them on my husband. He enjoyed them because he had to have knee high on most of the time for his thrombosis. And I put them on myself because I had an injury many years ago at work, and not at Richter, a different job. And I had sciatica, and I had disintegrating discs in my back. And I don't have that pain anymore. I also had arthritis everywhere in my body. I don't have that pain. So I knew this could help people. So from then on, it was a case of introducing it to people and saying, it can help. After I'd put it on my kids and my sister and everyone else, everyone was really bought into it, and they're very excited with it. So it's just a case of putting your story out there and saying, how can I help you? And that's the powerful thing, is to knowing that you can help someone.
Absolutely. That's so well done, Carol.
Super. Thank you so much, Carol. Great story. Now, I'm really, really honored to introduce the closet rapper.
No, she's still rapping.
My beautiful and wonderful sister, Lori, who did an amazing job at helping me put this together. I wish everybody here could be up here with us. It's such a beautiful spot. And you know, growing as a team and learning that we have something different here with Vox Life, with this technology, that we truly, you know, have a family here. We have something special. And my sister is such an integral part of this. She keeps me in line. Not always, but she certainly covers off a lot of my weaknesses, and that's such a blessing to me. But anyways, I'm so pleased to introduce my sister, Lori, the closet rapper Dawson, who did an amazing job at Summer in the City. She is an amazing rapper. I never knew that about her, but I mean, I think she's got a couple side gigs on the go here. But anyways, my lovely and beautiful sister, Lori Dawson. Come into the hot seat.
Hello, Vox Life family. Thank you for being on the call. Thank you for hearing my story. Hi, everyone. Wow, it's so great to see everybody. Hi, Tracy. Hi, everybody. Karen. Oh, I can't name all the names. I'll be here all night. My story is essentially, I'm a better me thanks to all that Vox Life has to offer. Primarily, it has to offer relationships. And I don't know if many of you know what was going on with me, but a couple of years back, I was kind of a shadow. I was a prisoner of my own home. I was suffering with debilitating anxiety, and I was having panic attacks and all kinds of things, primarily a menopausal thing, but beyond that, it was a lot of stress going on in the family. And so I clung to my little brother Terry for dear life, and we just got me through my days and each other through our days. And, you know, I started to come out of it, but lots of things needed to change, and, you know, my finances needed to change, and my health needed to change. And so anyways, one thing led to another, and I got hooked up with Kevin, and Terry and Jay, and all of you kind of know that story. And so really we were involved in the making and shaping of the networking business format, primarily because Jay thought that people needed to know and learn about our technology on a word of mouth basis. It's a kind of a complex, albeit simple thing. It needed an explanation. So we had the privilege of brainstorming this Vox Life networking thing kind of into being. And that is part of our story. And it's kind of an exciting and cool part of the story, because to learn that, you know, the word Vox means the voice. I mean, there's so many profound things about this whole endeavor. And that voxels are the units in the brain that we brain map. And I mean, that sort of exciting stuff goes on, and that just forms part of my excitement and story. If we want to talk about my product experience, that was twofold. And the first aspect that I noticed was, in 10 days, no more foot pain getting out of bed. So I was kind of a fool in that I ran, you know, just for pleasure and exercise, but I probably ran in crappy shoes. And for 2 solid years, it was agony to get out of bed and step on my feet. And in 10 days wearing these socks, I was pain-free of the plantar fasciitis. So, and then this whole anxiety thing just absolutely started to dissipate and go away. And with that being the case, I was able to sleep better. So my story is, if I have my socks on, I'm just a better person in the morning, because I don't wake up like I used to. And with the whole anxiety thing, I was waking up probably every hour on the hour. So my brain kind of quieted right the way down when I put the socks on. So, you know, my story is a bit of a mosaic, and our stories, I think, tend to morph, because I think part of being healthier mentally was the fact that, you know, in this business, we're able to engage and establish relationships and make friends and have family, and that's all good for the soul. So that's really a big part of my story as well, is that I've found new family members that resonate like I do and tick like I do, and like helping people from all age groups, just because you encounter all age groups in your life cycle. So and I was just saying to Terry today, it left us in business together, because we were part of a family business that kind of went for a poo. And so now we're
You can say that, we're at the lodge.
Now we're just, you know, rocking it. We're having fun, just rocking it. It doesn't mean to say that, you know, we're independently wealthy or anything like that, but we're very comfortable, and it's getting better every day as we share. And hey, I don't think it's that hard of a share when you finally get a bit of a track record with helping people. So that's me story, and thanks for listening.
Thanks, big sis. Now, we had I'm sure all of you know the amazing Kevin Dugay, the first Vox associate in the history of the company. And Doogie, my Liney, aka Liney, was up here with us. He had to leave this morning because, or actually it was around 1:30 when he left, because he had a meeting about 2 hours south of here in Northern Ontario. And I said, Liney, you're not getting off easy, buddy boy. We're all doing our stories here. We're all showing the family here about how important your story is, how important your story is to not only your success, but to the success of our mission. And our mission is to help 1 billion people. So we need everybody to nail down their story. And your story may change from where it is today to tomorrow, to the next week, to 2 months from now. But what it is today, you need to work on, and you need to post it. And you need to post it on our team page, or on our testimonials page, and you need to utilize it to encourage and inspire other people. So, Liney, I'm going to unmute you right now. Can you hear me, brother?
I can hear you loud and clear. I'm 400 southbound.
Right on. Well, I hope you're pulled. I'm not going
to do any TV talk. I just went past Weber, so we're good now.
Good stuff. Okay, so Kevin Duguay, as you all know, an incredible servant leader, just an amazing, wonderful man. Has got a resume as long as both my arms. He lost at Washer Toss today 2-0, so he's probably sulking. Carol and I killed him. But anyways, we were so delighted to have Kevin's wisdom here. Kevin's heart. He's such an amazing, passionate guy about our technology. It's just incredible that he came up here to share with the group that was up here, to inspire, to show his leadership. And so I'm delighted to have Kevin on the call as he's driving home to share his 3-minute story about his journey thus far in Vox Life. So Kevin, take it away, bro.
Well, Sainer, thank you so much for the kind words. I appreciate everything you do for this team, and for your hospitality and gratitude you extended to all of us in the last several days. It's been off the chart. So on that note, I'm so old, there were no socks and patches when I came into this business because there was no business. Jay was at a point in his life where the business was going. I got a phone call from a hockey friend saying, Kev, I've met this guy. He's got this really unique product. I was telling him about your background, where they were going to go with the business. He thought maybe you could help him, Kev. Would you be able to meet with him? He's got some product that works on the brain, works on balance and stability. And here I am thinking, oh, great, somebody else I can help. This is going to be pretty cool. So on that eventful day with a snowstorm in Richmond Hill, I made my way down there. I met up with my friend. We go to this rink. I meet Jay and this other doctor in the conversation, and Jay begins to share his story with Vox HPT. And at the time, what we had for the science was a mouth guard and an insole is where the science started. And as he was sharing about the science, it was very overwhelming and very empowering in regards to A, his passion, but B, what this tech was doing. And I'm still thinking I can help this guy because of what I had learned in 31 years of sports medicine in helping with balance and stability and range of motion and posture and all of the stuff that I had learned, going, this would be great. So we get to the demo point, and I am standing on $500 orthotics because I had been taught in school that if I aligned your arches, I would instantly improve your balance and stability and kinematics and all this stuff. And I'm standing on the orthotics, and Jay does a demo, and I get absolutely crushed on the 2 demos. And I go, like everybody else, do it again. I wasn't ready. I try to get ready, whatever that meant, and I get crushed again. And then the moment came when I stood on the insole. And when I experienced what I experienced, it was a very powerful moment for me because it was like, you can imagine 31 years of knowledge come crashing down in 7 seconds. Because I could not stand up. And I'm looking at my feet, and I'm looking at these insoles, and I'm going, how in heaven's name did this happen? And I'm looking in bewilderment, and at that point, it was really weird. Like, I didn't ask for any research. I trusted him, his passion, and I made a decision. And I made a decision right there that I want to help you, because what I experienced was nothing I've ever experienced in my life. And it was just like everybody shared. There's a lot of people that need to see this and experience it. And I need to right or wrong, because what I had learned about custom inserts, they do nothing for balance and stability. And needless to say, you know, in the 4 years that I've been involved with Jay and being around his heart and his family and this Vox Life family, and I just came, you know, where it's led me to, I just came back from a dear friend I've known for 30 years, who's 82 years old. We had dinner together, and I'm sharing the science, and I boxed her in the kitchen. And she says, I got problems climbing up and down stairs. So, you know, we're going to do a functional test. Go climb the stairs. You mean right now? Yeah, right now. And she goes, oh, my gosh. And now I got to contact my Bracebridge rep because I got somebody else to work in Bracebridge. So that's all good. And where this has taken me and the people I've met, the people on this call, and the journey that I'm on, I've had the most amazing 4 years of my life. And I can't wait for the next 40 years in this vision with Vox Life because I ain't going anywhere. I'm all in. And every day is the Vox Day. And it's the most amazing gift that you can give to people. And you share this tech, and they have the look in their eyes of hope. And as Angela cried, I get it. And we cried at the table. And there's nothing better crying when you give hope to somebody back. So I am so grateful for this team and Jay and this tech and being a servant to my teammates because that's the right thing to do. So that's my story. And I couldn't figure out the shower, so that's another story. That's all right.
Okay, eyes back on the road.
Okay, eyes on the road. We're good.
Eyes on the road. Thanks, Kevy. I see Angela Brown on there, and I got to send out a special thanks to Angela, my partner, my dear friend. I love you, girl. Thank you so much for I'm going to unmute you. You bailed my butt out yesterday, girl. Thank you so much. We're up here at the lodge doing some training and stuff, and I just inadvertently put the wrong date. You know, when you're in the bush like this, Angela, you sort of lose track of time, girl, and you lose track of what date it is. So I thank you and Diane Dinkmeyer so much for bailing out, and I appreciate all those that got on the call because these women are rock stars, and they have so much to offer, and they just took the situation and took charge. And that's what teammates do. So thank you for having my back. And I can't wait to have you guys up here someday as well. And I can't wait to see your stories posted on our testimonials page as well. So thank you, Angela, so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, dear. So, okay, now, I think you guys are feeling how cool it is to have your story, and you've heard different stories from all of the group up here so far. And I think you guys probably by now have the wheels turning in your own head a little bit about what's my story? What's my story? What's my experience? And I think you guys probably within the next 3 to 5 days are going to be sitting at home going, okay, let me practice my story. Let me get my story down, because I've got everybody here out of their comfort zone. You know, I saw Claus come out. I saw everything. And I'm like, no one's getting out of this. We're doing this because you guys all were at the event. You made a pledge to Mr. Paul Austin to tell your story and get it on the page. And I don't care about serotonin, and I don't care about dopamine and everything else. You guys had your hand up. So you made a pledge. So I'm holding people accountable. But anyways, we're all so blessed to have Paul Austin. He came up, my bro, my partner. I've known Paul for 17 years. He was the first person I sponsored into Vox Life. Paul has built a 6-figure business in a little over a year. He didn't really engage in Vox Life until December 1st, 2016, even though he was signed up in June. And he went on a mission. And he built a 6-figures on his way to multiple 6-figure. One of the hardest working, heartfelt, awesome dudes in the world, and kicked my butt in fishing this weekend too, which I'm not too happy about, but I'm open to learn from his techniques, and I had to put my pride aside and so on. But I'm just so grateful to have Paul by my side, by all your guys' side. I'm sure you all know Paul, and I'm just delighted to have my friend, my partner, all of our friends, the amazing Paul Austin, on to tell his story. So Paul, into the hot seat, bro.
Thanks, buddy. But this guy, come on, he's amazing. He does so much for us. He deserves a lot of credit. We'll hear his story soon. I really appreciate everyone coming on here. What happened here is remarkable. Just learning from different people, everybody just sort of, listening to what, everybody, their different ideas and how they do things, and that's how things are built. So right away, I'm going to say, put your hand back up, please. And for those of you who didn't, I seriously want you to take this seriously. We need your testimonials. We need it on video. We need it ASAP. I really appreciate the 3 people that took the time to do it. That's not bad out of 340 people. 3 did it. I don't know what the percentage is on that, but it's horrible. So you guys got to do it. Please do it. Don't do it for me. Don't do it. Do it for Jay. Do it for yourself, really, but do it for the company. Could you imagine if we had hundreds of you with your video, how incredible that would be? We could all share it. You're all going to resonate with somebody in a certain way, and you just don't know it. And I'm one of those guys that I don't really have a story in terms of the product. I have a story in terms of energy, just the things that it did for me in terms of just a clear-headedness and things like that. And to me, that didn't seem too great. But this just was dropped in my lap by Mr. Terry St. Amand. He showed me what it did, and at that point, I was pretty impressed with the balance, stability, range of motion. But I really didn't know where this was going. I didn't know how powerful it truly was. So I simply, kind of waited till the company opened, and at that point, I was renovating my house. And Terry phoned me and said, "Hey, man, we can enroll. You ready?" And I think it was June 18th, 2016 or something. And I said, "Sign me up. I'll figure that stuff out later." So I just enrolled right away. I met him on the 400 at a coffee or at like a en route type thing, eating place. He threw me my box. I said hi to him and Lori. They were going up here, and I went home and I threw that box in the corner. And I just sort of was focused on getting my family back in my house, doing my renovations. And that was the moment that, several days into doing it, I was feeling tired. I was doing this by myself. A lot of people are working during the day. I couldn't get a lot of help. My family lived at the cottage, so it was really important for me to focus on that. And of course, I would have loved to just jump right into Vox, but again, I didn't really know what it was truly going to do for people. So fast forward, I looked over in the corner one day, my feet were killing me, and I saw this box, and I thought to myself, "You're an idiot. Like, why don't you have these socks on?" I mean, every day I'm slugging, I'm tearing my place apart, and I'm filling up a huge 40-yard bin, and it's a lot of work. It was a huge 40-degree summer, very, very hot. So anyway, long story short, I threw those on, and my day was different. So again, the next day I didn't believe it. I took them off. I was horribly exhausted. Same 3 p.m. crash that everybody gets, energy low, clear-headedness not there. So I put the socks back on. I did this about 3 times, and then I realized, wow, this is real. This is helping me, not in a real dramatic way, just, hey, it just helped me get through the day better. Working out, I didn't need to because obviously that was not something I wanted to do after what I was doing every day. But soon on, I realized that it helped in that respect or also with recovery, range of all those different things. When you're working out, you notice it big time, lifting more weights. I mean, all those things are pretty incredible to somebody that might not have, a condition or ailment. So I knew at that point that I'm going to start, giving this to my mom and my brother and all that sort of thing. So my brother got the socks. His plantar fasciitis went away in 2 days. My mom was doing yoga and pickleball and all these amazing things happening. But I just thought, they thought, hey, let's just tell them that it's pretty cool. Like it's working. I know my wife was shaking her head, socks. Oh my gosh, what's going on here? So anyways, after I knew that at this point I needed somebody else. I needed another story outside of my own home or my family and friends. So I met a girl at a coffee shop. I demoed her. She told me that she had all these neurological issues. It turned out that there was something I didn't know at the time. She didn't tell me, but I asked her to put the socks on. And just because something could happen right in front of her eyes, of course, I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, that's not going to happen. Literally a half an hour later, she's tapping on the table saying, what is in these? And I said, well, it's just a tech. It's something. And at that point, I probably was terrible at what I was telling her because I have no clue. I remember I used to listen to Terry and what he said, and I thought it was like, wow, I got to get to his level here because I don't know what I'm doing here. So long story short, she had diabetes and terrible diabetic neuropathy and couldn't feel the outside of her feet or toes. And the end result of that was she could feel all of her toes and her feet. And she realized that her shoes were too small for her. I was sitting there. I probably had grapefruits as goosebumps. I was just shocked. She was shocked. And that was the moment I didn't care what the hand looked like in poker. It's like the one that laid it down, and I didn't even look at it. And I just said, I'm all in, because that was it for me. I knew this was a remarkable, if that just happened in front of my eyes, then what's going to happen moving forward. So I just threw my cards all in. I don't got to tell you my success in this. You guys can all be successful. Just keep sharing it. Don't get down. Don't compare yourself. Just throw your cards in. Work at this every single day, and the universe will take care of you. And it's helping a lot of people in doing that exact same thing. So anyways, remember, you did this. Some of you have done it twice now. Do it. And you know what? You say you can't do it, and you know what? It's because you haven't done it. You can do anything you want. You just have to do it. The more you do it, there's no way I would have thought I'd stand in front of 350 people and train them on something that was way off the radar. So, and it happened, and it's only because I'm growing, and it's, because of this guy, my mentor.
Reach out to your sponsor to help you.
Now, is that not from the heart? From the heart, guys. So I think you guys are getting the gist of tonight's call about how important your story is. You may not think it's important. You may not think, oh, my story's not a big deal. I really don't have much of a story yet. But whatever it is that got you started into this amazing technology, share that. Nail it. Put it down. You're going to inspire somebody. You're going to change somebody's life.
I say, even if you're a skeptic and that got you in,
yeah,
that's valid.
And so, your story is important. And for me, I'll just quickly tell you my quick story. Simply, before I knew about Vox HPT, I had turned into my 50s. I was like 53 years old. And I'm a pretty competitive guy. I don't like to lose. Whatever it is, in business.
Well, I can tell you.
Whatever.
This is true.
I was ready to smash fishing poles over the side of the boat. But anyways, and for me, I'm very competitive. I golf, I play hockey, I fish, I hunt, I do a lot of things. And for me, I was feeling that, I couldn't be competitive anymore. I was like getting tired. I was stiff. This was before I knew anything about Vox HPT. And so profoundly in 2015, I come across my good old friend Jay that I hadn't seen in years, and he tells me about this amazing product. And so I just wore it. I put it on every day. Guys, I'm telling you, where I am today, I'm turning 57 years old, and I feel like I'm 40. I get so much stuff done in a day, what I accomplish in a day, and I'm not without the tech. And you can ask Dr. Mark DeBrincat, and you'll all get to know him someday. He feels naked without the tech on. And when you wear this tech, and you may not feel it, but you look back at what you do in a day after you have this tech on, and you wear it regularly. And when you understand what it's doing for your brain and what it did for my brain, I didn't know. I just wanted to have it on because I wanted to feel good. I wanted to be able to still get stuff done. I was building a business. I needed the energy to work 18 hours a day. I was running a family business. I put this technology on, and man, my golf game was better. I went and played squash, and my recovery, I hadn't played squash in 23 years, and I'm like, are you kidding me? I can lift my leg. I don't feel like I have to be in a straitjacket the next day. I was blown away. I'm like, what is this stuff? Jay, you're a freak. Like, whatever this stuff is, this is wild. But before I had this, I was feeling like that phrase that when you turn 50, man, everything goes downhill. And I was starting to believe that. And so I put this technology on, and I'm telling you guys, I'm a better person. Mentally, I'm better. I'm calmer. I'm able to deal with stuff better. I don't react in the same mannerisms that I would have before. I don't feel the anxiety that I felt before. And my brain is in a better spot. And the more I learn about this, the more my story makes more sense to me. And I don't know why this stuff was doing this. I just know that when I had it on, I felt awesome. I knew I could get more done. And, you know, ever since I've been wearing this technology, I feel bare naked when I don't wear it. I feel like I can't do what I want to do.
You can't do the do.
And I think all of you will learn that. Some of you that are new, my new friend Diane Dinkmeyer, I know that she is just killing her business. She's a new team leader, and I'm so proud of her. And I know that the more that we wear this technology, our story is going to develop. And for me, I just know that I'm a better person. I don't know why I was a better person, but when you start to learn at these events like Dr. Mark DeBrincat, and he talks about how, you know, emotion can change cell reproduction and so on, and you want to keep your brain in the right position. It all makes sense to me now. So my story is just basically evolved to the fact that before Vox HPT, I wasn't a great guy. I wasn't a good person. I was dealing with stuff that made me angry, made me emotional, made me unstable. I was mad that I wasn't, you know, recovering. I was mad that I was getting older. I was mad that I was stiff all the time. And man, I put this stuff on and I feel like doing the Snoopy dance. I mean, I can rap now. Terrible, mind you. I'm a terrible rapper, but I can do it. And I just have amazing people that are joining me in this company and this family. We've had a great time up here, sharing our love. We've had tears. We've had laughs. We've had, you know, some great talks around the campfire. And this is what this company is about. It's about building each other up. It's about sharing something that's going to help so many people in this world. We are going to change the face of healthcare. Without a doubt, without a question, we are going to change the face of healthcare. And so your story, I can't reiterate enough at how important your story is. You don't think it's important? You're wrong. Your story is important. Whatever it is, get it on the page. Practice it. Get it down to 3 minutes. Before Vox Life, you were what? After Vox Life, you are what? That's really what it comes down to, you know? And understand what it's doing for you. You guys are all here because it's done something for you. And whatever that is, tell your story. It's profound. It moves people. It lights them up. It will empower you to be a better you. And when you can truly change somebody's life through your experience, that's a gift. It's a true gift.
So, and you have to pay it forward.
So thank you all so much. We're going to train on some new stuff. We're going to train on some stuff on the medical side. We're going to do some training on how to approach medical practitioners. But we really wanted to get across after Summer in the City how important your story is. Please realize that your story is so important. So share it. Put it on the page, the testimonials page. You've all raised your right hand. I saw it. Saw you all do that. Can't hide. Tracy Nachai, Darlene Campbell, Karen Stringy, you've all done it. Get your hands up. Hands up, everybody.
Hands up.
Hands up. We're going to have fun. We're going to change the world. And you guys are all such an integral part of it. And we're also grateful for all of you. And thank you so much for being on the call from up at Lac Windy in northern Quebec. Say hello to all the people here. Hello, everybody.
And tag everybody in this recording, guys. We need these stories. We need them badly. Jay watches the page every day. He wants to see this, so make him proud.
Make them proud, guys.
Absolutely.
So thank you all for being on there. God bless you all. Thank you for all you do at sharing this amazing technology on our way to reaching and changing the lives of 1 billion people. God bless everybody. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Take care now.
See you, everyone.
I'm going to unmute everybody. I'm going to unmute everybody. There we
Bye,
are.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, hi, Terry.
Bye. Love you guys.
Everybody. F you, everybody.
Great,
F you.
great call.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye,
Thanks,
Angela.
Share the joy. Share the joy.
Share the joy. Right.
Yeah.
Bless.
They didn't fit me.